Very sad music heals my depression. There was an incident before I got married. I was given a thunderous slap by a female.
Okay, by another person.
By a female. Let me just put it that way. While driving, I saw stars. By the time I reached marriage, two of the ladies were crying.
When your first marriage ended,
yes,
that must have triggered some depression.
Oh yes, because that was my friend, and also there were children involved. The first port of call of depression was when my mom and dad separated. I jog with sad music. I am not saying that I am the saint, but you see me being made out to be a beastly human being that touches women. Nah, nobody divorced me. I took my suitcase,
and I left the marriage.
Come for me.
Do you miss your days at Metro FM?
I do. I love radio. I prefer radio to TV. Because TV, all you have to do on TV, you have to just come, hello, welcome, and wink, and do fine boy. Everybody like, this is so good. But on radio, if you can grasp someone's attention and have them riveted throughout your session, it shows that in a blind medium, you have cultivated the talent to make people listen. And I think it's imperative for broadcasters, if you want to be great, if you start from radio, you're going to be, TV will be a walk in the park, just like IK and the rest of them.
Yeah. Metro FM was, of course, under FRCN.
FRCN, yes,
official
Radio Nigeria
station.
Yes.
So did you go from Metro to DBN then?
No.
Okay, how did it work?
No. What happened was, let me tell you what happened.
Please.
So in Calabar, I schooled in Calabar.
Yes, I know that.
My dad wanted me to study medicine because it gave me the impression that you have to study either medicine, engineering, or law. So I said, okay, let me just do medicine for my dad. So but I was just like, I missed the cutoff point by the skin of my teeth, So I just said, okay, to make him happy, let me do a paramedical. I said, no, if I'm, I didn't want to do it. Then I said, okay, let me just go to the Faculty of Agric and do animal science. So if I say animal science, maybe in his mind he would think, oh, that's like to be a vet, doctor or something like that. So I did animal science. While I was doing animal science, I felt like I was trapped in the void because that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a broadcaster, I wanted to be a film director and all that. But it just so happens that the animal science department was just juxtaposed next to the theater arts department.
Right.
So sometimes I would just stray over there. Before you know it, I became campus MC and all that. I used to do shows. Then something happened to me.
Okay.
I said, you know what, radio. I don't know how I gravitated towards radio because I used to listen to crossover radio, great stars like Morris Enoch, Felix Ibiang, then the Lady V. There are many of them that, propelled me towards radio. So I started doing auditions and everything.
Right.
So I got 1 hour per week on crossover radio.
Yeah.
Then TV came. We had a breakfast TV show bought by some young boys. They bought airtime.
Right.
So we started doing breakfast TV. After 3 years of me doing radio, once a week, 1 hour every week. Then TV came. I wanted to be a marketer in the outfits called Swell Time Entertainment in Calabar. So I walked up there. All this time I was in school. So I walked up to them and I said, hey, I want to be your marketer so that I will get a commission if I bring, the guy, so the owners, we were just looking at me puzzled. I said, what's wrong? Don't you guys need help? He said, yeah, we need help, but not that kind of help. Are you available tomorrow? I said, for what? He said, you can come and do an interview. Our main presenter has traveled. I was thinking of how to interview a local government chairman. We just got there now, we don't know who, so would you want to? I said, oh, sure. That one weekend I did the interview.
Right.
It was on a Saturday morning. Saturday evening, I went for a show. I was mobbed.
By people that had watched you.
They said, that's fantastic. I've been doing radio for 3 years.
Nobody mobbed you.
So I said, guess who was my co-presenter there? You can never guess, a lady.
Right. Who?
Nse Ikbetum.
What?
She was in theater arts. She studied theater arts in Calabar.
Yes, that's so
Nse,
true.
fantastic. We all knew that Nse was going to end
blow,
up.
yeah.
Yes, but she's a great presenter.
I didn't know. I mean, I would think so, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, great presenter. Yeah.
So you were doing that when you were in school?
In school, yes, I
finished?
was. Yes, in school, yeah, and I went to Lagos. So I was telling my presenter, the guy that I had traveled that I filled in for, he came back and we all became friends. And he said, I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to go to Lagos. So why are you going to go to Lagos? He mean, well, here is cool. I said, man, we're just going to be, we'll be like catfish in a very minute pond. So why, Lagos is where the action is. You know what the guy told me? He said, in Lagos, there are cliques in Lagos.
Right.
So how are you going to break in? He said, many of us, we've been trying to break in and everything. I said, that's valid. I thought about this. His name is Paul Nya. You'll remember this. I said, okay, I guess I'll go and form my clique in Lagos.
I love that.
That's what I said. I was just saying it and everything. And when I came to Lagos, I said, now, that clique thing is in my head. How am I going to, because I wanted to be on radio, be on TV, and I wanted to write articles. I had written an article, and I had like 3 articles I read, entertainment articles. So I'd choose a subject and start writing and everything. So I said, you know what? Let me go to Encomia, because we used to read Encomia. Yeah. Let me go to Encomia magazine. So I went all the way to Ogba, and the person I met was Azu Arinze. And I told him, yes, I told Azu Arinze, I said, hey, hi, how you doing? I said, yeah. I said, I work with DBN TV, which was a lie.
I was going to ask.
I'm using, no. I said, I work with DBN TV, and I want to write for you. The guy looked at me and said, write? Yeah. What can you? I said, I write articles. He said, yeah, but Encomium is not an article kind, we do tabloids. And I said, but, he said, okay, so you mean to tell me you can write? I said, I have 3 articles here. So he now read the first paragraph. He looked at me, you wrote this? Plagiarism is a very serious, because it was that, he couldn't believe it.
The quality of it.
I said, yeah, I can write another one right now for you. Just give me a theme and I'll just do something. He said, I have a magazine called Real Stars. Real spelled R-E-E-L, then Stars. Yes. Then he said, all right, you know what? I'll put that article there. I said, okay, put it, but I just want a copy of the magazine. He said, come get it next week after it's been published. So from Encomium magazine, I went to the island, DBN TV. I said, hi, I work with Encomium magazine and I want to be on, I kid you not, Israel Ejeren.
Yes,
yes. Israel Ejeren, Godio Molaye. That's what I just said. I work with Encomium magazine to do an audition. And they said, why? Why? Say, why DBN TV? I said, why not? I said, just open, first of all, let's establish whether I can do this. Let's do an audition. And they gave me something. They said, okay, we need someone in entertainment. I laughed in my mind because I said, this is where I'm going to kill them. They gave me the script. I did an audition. I started working with DBN TV in 3 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks after that. Then I was getting in touch with Azu, and he published that. He was taking my articles and not paying me.
Yeah.
So I said, I beg.
This is not working for me.
This is not working. So I was in DBN, but I was still thinking about radio.
Right.
So I did DBN for 1 year. But DBN,
and you were paid in DBN?
I was paid. Of course I was.
What do you mean by you were depressed?
Depressed?
Yes. What was it? How do you describe what it was so young?
Well, the thing is, when you are not happy, but there's a feeling, you know this is not happiness. It's got to be. It's just like depending on happiness. I feel that I was supposed to be none the wiser regarding what life was really about. I was supposed to know that around maybe 14, 15. But 10 years old, palm, rude awakening. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? It's just like the they threw me to the
Into
deep end,
Yeah,
and I started clutching at straws and trying to, maintain buoyancy.
Yeah,
So it was very difficult for me. Then I started feeling down, depressed, alone, and stuff like that. So, but as I was going on, but I was still in school, I found out that there was life on the other side, albeit too early. But I now started, learning how to deal with stuff. Then I think I matured too early.
Right. How do
Because
you
I was by myself
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So I started being, if things don't go my way, I'm looking for solutions and stuff. And, so that's a bit of sadness mixed with loneliness, mixed with, I'm not supposed to be going through this. My grandmother was, I was with my grandmother, but it wasn't the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think depression is the absence of happiness,
Yeah.
but there's a feeling that is just lingering. Sometimes it borders on hopelessness. Sometimes you just go, Then depression is very funny. It's dynamic, because if you're depressed about something and you allow it to linger too much, another reason is going to come for you.
in.
And, it starts snowballing.
Yes. Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I learned how to put it aside, and broadcasting taught me. Because they say the show must go on. So whether you're depressed and everything, once you cross the threshold of the door to the studio, you hang it outside. And you'll be depressed about something. They say, Frank, it's time to go on. And you're like, hi, welcome to Cruise Control. Hey, how you doing? This week was a fabulous week, wasn't it? This, and all that. So that's what it taught me. So it helped me to just push everything to a far-flung area in the recesses of my mind.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah. When you describe it about the show must go on, does that mean that depression is something that has happened even after you were a child in your life?
Oh, yes, many times. Many times. I was depressed. When I, grew up and everything, the first port of call of depression was when my mom and dad separated.
Right.
Yeah, so that was nasty for me.
How old are you then?
I was 12.
Right.
12.
Oof.
So,
Oof.
very sad music heals my depression. It's crazy. Sad music. On Spotify, I have playlists. I have one, sad songs of all time, that I curated myself. Then I have present day sadness. That was from 2 years ago.
Right.
I think the psychology of it is, when I listen to that sad song, I'll be like, Kai, this guy was so sad he went into a studio. I said, no, my own never reached like that. I'm telling you, it's funny.
Yeah.
But it helped. I mean, my wife always tells me, you say you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
You're listening to, I said, I jog with sad music. Yeah.
You jog with sad music?
I jog with slow music. I don't go like bang, bang, ding, ding, ding. No. I go with, the music I love listening to.
Yeah.
Sad songs.
Yeah.
And like The Drugs Don't Work by The Verve.
Right.
Very sad song, So I had learned how to deal by the fixated view that I'm alone.
Yeah.
Me against the world. So I'm not surprised that. I think and that really helped me. That really helped me, structure. It cleared my path for a lot of things. I just said family is just ceremonial. I'll just be on my own. Well, what's my own? So I started doing stuff. I started learning on my own. I started going, doing things on my own, because if I had a family that supported me and everything, I would want to rest on my oars. I say my family will. Yeah. But I just felt I was alone, so I had to, go and do stuff. Yeah. I was emceeing since, my first MC job was in 1995 or 1996. I've been emceeing since, and I love it. So when I came to Lagos, Basoj Taya Jr. saw me, took me under his wing and just showed me the ropes a bit. And, I started emceeing even before I wanted to be a millionaire. Then Millionaire came.
Yeah, of course.
Then,
Yeah.
I continued.
But just, so I want to move from that, but I just want to
Go ahead.
understand. So do you think that so essentially, because as you say, you've known loneliness from being a child.
Yes. Loneliness knew me by name.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And then you've dealt with, and you've learned to know that it's you against the world.
Yes.
So you've known that, okay, and the show must go on. So
Show
you're
must
like,
go, mhm.
if this comes in, how do we move out of it?
that's it.
And sad songs have become like some kind of therapy.
Yes.
Do you think that solves the problem or just puts a balm on it?
No, the thing is that I think the misconception is you thinking that depression has a cure. You understand? I think if someone is depressed and you see reasons why you shouldn't be depressed, depression abhors joy. That's it. So it just goes away.
Yes.
So, and that kind of joy you can find in children.
Yeah.
I would have said can find in life partners, but that's dangerous terrain.
How so?
True happiness should depend on factors that are not variable. Because no matter what if your life partner decides to divorce you? That means you stop being happy. So,
Right.
you have to fix it. I know my children can't divorce me. They can try. They will not get away with it.
Yes.
So
there's a constancy
So
with children.
yes, you know that, okay, this gives me, children, for human beings, children, my mother will always love me. I'll always love her.
Yeah.
So I know that is permanent.
Yes.
Then I'll say, okay, what else can I use? Then when people say you need to learn how to love yourself, I used to say, that goes without saying now. Why would I hate myself in the first place? That's
How you interpreted it.
It's not that. It's not that. I mean, you must love yourself when you have been rejected, when you are being laughed at, when people are making snide remarks about you. You must still love yourself. That's how I looked at it. I said, okay, you know what? I don't really care about somebody's opinion of me.
Yeah. When your first marriage ended,
Yes.
that must have triggered some depression.
Oh yes, because that was my friend, and also there were children involved.
Yes.
I said, how am I going to leave these children and everything? I think ours was a mismatch. That's why I chalk it up to, mismatch. I was young, and so when she got pregnant, I said, I was meeting, I met Basoj. I said, hey, see, she's pregnant. I mean, I don't have to marry. So I had like the, cold feet. So they thought, see, it's all right. It's usual for anybody to have cold feet,
yeah.
to develop cold feet. So, but I still got married. It lasted 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. Then in 2010, I left. Then 3 years after that, I remarried.
Yeah. Because this thing you said, I think there was an interview she gave around that time. And she said,
Around
two
that
of you
time.
were great friends.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't, the same thing you're saying, that she thinks that you people should have stayed as great friends. But people always say this thing. Somebody has asked a question about my show of mine. I say, how? But you are supposed to be the best friends of your partner. So is that not if you were supposed to be friends, then how can the marriage not work?
Okay, there are different types of friendship.
Yeah.
Now, if the whole world was a genderless world, that we could marry any of our friends, would you marry all your friends?
Okay, now that you put it like that, I will murder somebody.
So you get the idea.
Fair
so
enough.
I think that's what she probably meant.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see someone, this is my friend, you guys flow together. Maybe just because you are members of the opposite sex,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you should get married.
Yeah, makes a lot of
because
sense.
because that's a different ball game already, entirely.
So in hindsight, do you think that the advice that Basoj and others gave you was wrong then?
I don't think so. You know what I learned in this life? You see, when you want to do something, when you want to go to the next level in life, I think people will say that's the best time for you to get advice from your mentors. Don't. Don't. You know why? Your destiny was designed for you alone, and only you can understand why you are going in that direction. Now, if you seek wisdom and knowledge from people who are not in the same bandwidth of that destiny path, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So likely,
Yeah.
they'll tell you, they only give you what they understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand your path.
Yes. Right.
So that's why I just say, hey, maybe I should have thought of it
a bit more.
a bit more.
Not panicked.
Yes. No, actually, come on. She was my friend, very good friend and everything. I think sometimes it was love too.
Right.
But I think we didn't look at each other very well before, we delved into it, And, in the first marriage, I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, it was their fault and it was my fault too. It was my fault too. But not in the way some people were depicting, because that's one of the times I was very depressed, but I couldn't say anything. The first crisis happened in 2007.
Okay.
Then I still stayed on for 3 years. Then it got to a head in 2010,
right.
and I left. Do you know that when I left in 2010, I was still doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, by the way. I started in 2004.
Yes.
So I'd done Millionaire for 6 years.
Yes.
MTN came on board, and we were just flying high. Then all of a sudden, I was in the UK. My boss calls me, says, hey, you have to come back to Lagos. I say, what's up, boss? He said, hey, the sponsor, they are hearing things about you. You have to come back. I told them that they should hear you out. Right. They said, you're not going to present this program anymore because of those rumors.
Yeah.
I said, okay, all right. I'm on the next flight tomorrow. He said, yeah, because they fixed the meeting for tomorrow. I said, but no availability. He said they don't care.
Wow.
So get on that plane and make sure. I said, I'm going to touch down in the morning. The meeting was 9 o'clock in the morning, and my plane was touching down around 6 in the morning, 6:30. So I told my personal assistant then to get my car, meet me at the airport, and I drove with all my bags in the car. I drove straight to Southern Sun.
Right. Yeah.
Which is now Movenpick or
Yes,
something. So we went there, sat down, and these 3 women, 3 irate-looking women, and 2 men. They didn't even. The men said, "Let's hurry up," because they had fed them with stories. Let's hurry up, and this thing is. This is just a formality. We know one thing we are sure of, you're not doing that. So they sat down, and my boss, luckily, my boss knew everything I've been telling him.
Right.
He would tell me, calm down, calm down. Then I'll be telling him about the altercations between, I'll say, is this right? Is this? He says, see, I need you to hold it together. I think, God bless him, I think he was instrumental to me, just keeping my mouth shut then, because we didn't understand the internet terrain and stuff. Now everybody will say, see, you did it. You were the one that. So I just also was thinking about my children too.
Yeah.
So they started talking. They said you did this. They said you did this. That you commit domestic violence and stuff. You are a wife beater. You did this. You did that. You did that. I said okay. I just kept quiet, listening to all of them. Nothing on my face. When they finished, my boss says, okay, Frank. He looked at me. He said, Frank, that means say it. I said, all right, I'm going to start from one of the ladies. Because my voice was irritating.
Yes.
So I said, I'm going to start from when I was dating. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you, so please, I hope you don't interrupt me, because I'm going to give you a chronological account of I'm going to tell you a general story, but pick the truths from there. So I started from there I started from, and going and going and going. By the time I reached marriage, and I reached marriage, and I went away from marriage before the birth of my son, then my first daughter. Two of the ladies were crying. I wasn't looking at them. I was, because I could see the picture, so I was focused. I said, okay, so this happened. This. I said, no, it didn't happen. Like, this one happened before this one. I was giving accounts, and I told them, I have receipts. Please, if a story sounds incredulous to you, please ask me to provide receipts. I'll send them to you. And I go, pam, 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 pam. I said, and please, nobody divorced me. I took my suitcase, and I left
the marriage.
That's it. Facts. And I left the marriage, and when when I went to court, I figured out that it would be a media circus in Lagos, so I went to Otta.
Right.
I went to Otta and everything. And the women there in the court, they were waiting for me to come. Like, we heard this. So when accounts started coming out, when things started coming out and everything, people were like this. Now, at this point, if I want to showboat, if I want to reveal things, I would. But I'm still respectful to my children. I am not saying that I'm the saint. But you see me being made out to be a beastly human being that touches women? Nah, never. So there are many misconceptions about me. Many people still hound me.
Yes.
They still believe me.
Yeah.
But I believe that truth is, anybody that gets to meet me will know the truth.
Again, there was an interview that your wife gave at the time.
Yes.
And she was talking about this. Then she says, we're not friends, etc., but, we had arguments. But the one thing that a man should not do is lay his hands on a woman. The context of it was that she was indicating.
That's even a small context now, because there was the thing that made those my sponsor, the delegation from my sponsor come, is that she was in a documentary claiming to be a victim of domestic violence.
Yes.
Let me tell you, for 14 years, I've not spoken to her a term of endearment to her. I haven't. As far as I'm concerned, I feel if I am that, whatever should come to me, I should be punished for it. But please, let us realize something. What if I am not like that? No. Let's just say, what if? Since everybody thinks, hey, okay, what if I am not like that? What do you think I'm going through? What if? So, the thing about me is very simple, very plain and simple. I like providing receipts. Now, if any person going through domestic violence, you should document it. You should document it, and that person will be punished. There was an incident before I got married. I was given a thunderous slap by a female.
Okay, by another person.
By a female. Let me just put it that way. While driving, I saw stars. I can remember it, St. Mary's, Aguda, near Ayetoro Junction. I remember a big slap because I gave them the silent treatment. And I didn't do it. I said, okay, you cannot be slapping me and I'm buying petrol. Please be going. Be going. Go. Close,
so if anything, you are the one that even experienced the violence.
No, I wouldn't say that I experienced some violence.
Some violence.
I experienced some violence. I won't lie to you. I experienced some violence. But how I look at it is that, you see, when you are mismatched, you understand? When you are mismatched and when your partner wakes up and sees you and says, there's going to be animosity.
What did you learn from that whole situation that helped you in your next marriage?
Ironically, what I learned is that I'm not going to change the person I am just because maybe the person that didn't deserve me had me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.